Multiple winter systems and Arctic blasts are about to unleash winter hell across America, driving snow deeper south than we've seen in decades. What I'm tracking right now represents the most aggressive winter weather assault we've seen all season, and it's absolutely mind-blowing. We're talking about legitimate winter storms that will fundamentally reshape how 200 million Americans remember this winter. Areas that rarely see snow are about to get buried under accumulating snowfall, and I'm genuinely terrified and excited about what's coming. If you live anywhere from Texas to Maine, the next 72 hours will determine whether you're prepared or caught completely off guard. This is the same jet stream configuration that creates legendary winter weather disasters, but the models are showing something even more devastating. Hit subscribe right now because these systems are evolving so rapidly that missing one update could leave you unprepared for life-threatening conditions. Drop your exact city in the comments immediately because what I'm about to reveal affects everyone differently across multiple states. Over the next 15 minutes, you'll discover why this represents the most dangerous winter weather pattern we've tracked all season. Here's what happened overnight in the computer models that has emergency management agencies quietly activating winter storm protocols. Both the European and American models just achieved remarkable agreement on something catastrophic: multiple winter systems targeting the same regions. We're witnessing the birth of what could become the most legendary winter weather sequence since the historic blizzards of the past decade. Right now, we're in the final hours of calm before absolute winter warfare unleashes across the eastern half of the United States. Our jet stream is configuring itself into patterns that create what meteorologists call a perfect winter storm factory. The atmospheric trough centered across the Midwest and Northeast is about to intensify dramatically over the next 48 hours. Minneapolis, St. Paul, Milwaukee, Madison, Chicago, Rockford, Detroit, Grand Rapids, and Kalamazoo. You're taking the first devastating hit. But here's what will absolutely shock you about how this pattern explodes across multiple time zones. Tuesday and Wednesday show our atmospheric trough becoming violently intense across the Great Plains all the way through the Gulf Coast. By late Wednesday, Arctic air will be spilling out of Canada like a frozen tsunami, reaching all the way into Florida. Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, New Orleans, Mobile, Pensacola, Birmingham, Atlanta, and Jacksonville face their coldest temperatures in years. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday represent when Mother Nature completely loses her mind across the eastern United States. When low-pressure systems form within this atmospheric death zone, we get elongated snow bands stretching over 1,500 miles. This setup could potentially drive accumulating snow as far south as Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama, and the Tennessee Valley. Nashville, Memphis, Knoxville, Chattanooga, Huntsville, Birmingham, Montgomery, and Mobile might witness winter weather that makes national headlines. Here's where this story becomes absolutely unprecedented in modern winter weather history. Thursday's storm system remains broad and powerful, leading to light accumulating snow as far south as Alabama and Georgia. By Thursday and Friday, multiple storm systems march up the East Coast like an Arctic army, bringing widespread winter devastation. Louisville, Lexington, Cincinnati, Columbus, Dayton, Pittsburgh, Harrisburg, Philadelphia, Trenton, New York City, Hartford, and Boston all enter the war zone. Our jet stream continues its violent dive across the Rockies into the southern plains, setting up another intense Arctic assault. Kansas City, St. Louis, Springfield, Little Rock, Memphis, Nashville, Louisville, Indianapolis, and Cincinnati face brutal cold by Sunday and Monday. What happens next will absolutely terrify you about the sustained winter warfare pattern we're entering. Our weather pattern remains hyperactive through late January, with more devastating winter storms targeting the same vulnerable regions. Now let me walk you through the two Arctic death punches we're tracking over the next 7 days. Currently, we have deceptively mild temperatures across the northern tier, but this warmth is about to become ancient history. Tuesday into early Wednesday represents the final warm period before Arctic hell breaks loose across half the continent. Wednesday's low-pressure system will intensify late in the day, becoming catastrophically powerful as it moves into the southeast. When Gulf moisture collides with this Arctic air mass, we get those rare snow events that make southern weather history. Atlanta, Augusta, Macon, Columbus, Albany, Valdosta, Tallahassee, and Gainesville could experience their most significant winter weather in decades. But wait until you see the second Arctic blast that arrives like a freight train of frozen fury. Saturday and Sunday bring even more intense cold air, especially devastating the Great Plains, Midwest, and Ohio Valley. Omaha, Des Moines, Cedar Rapids, Davenport, Peoria, Rockford, Chicago, Milwaukee, Green Bay, and Madison face potentially record-challenging temperatures. This second wave triggers additional snow chances that could paralyze the Ohio Valley and East Coast. Here's what's absolutely mind-blowing about when and where these snow events will devastate multiple regions simultaneously. Monday through Wednesday features the first catastrophic snowfall targeting the northern and central United States with relentless intensity. Snow spreads like wildfire across the Midwest, Great Lakes, and interior Northeast, with extended periods of heavy, life-disrupting accumulation. Toledo, Cleveland, Akron, Canton, Youngstown, Erie, Buffalo, Rochester, Syracuse, Albany, and Burlington prepare for snow totals that will make headlines. This isn't a one-and-done disaster because entrenched cold air allows snow to linger and explode with each additional wave. Wednesday morning shows devastating snowfall already paralyzing the Midwest before spreading eastward like a winter plague. Milwaukee, Grand Rapids, Lansing, Flint, Saginaw, Bay City, Detroit, and Ann Arbor experience moderate to heavy snowfall with dangerous accumulation potential. By Wednesday afternoon, snow explodes into Ohio, western Pennsylvania, and begins absolutely hammering the interior Northeast. Pittsburgh, Johnstown, Altoona, Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, Binghamton, Elmira, and Ithaca enter active winter warfare periods. Here's where this gets absolutely insane from a meteorological disaster perspective. Thursday shows the most unprecedented southern snow development as Arctic air clashes violently with Gulf moisture. The GFS model is painting snow as far south as Tennessee, northern Mississippi, northern Alabama, and northern Georgia. Clarksville, Bowling Green, Evansville, Paducah, Jackson, Tupelo, Florence, Decatur, and Rome could see accumulating snow that shuts down entire regions. Friday brings another devastating snow wave from Canada, absolutely crushing the Midwest and Ohio Valley with additional accumulation. Fort Wayne, South Bend, Kalamazoo, Battle Creek, Jackson, Lansing, Flint, and Saginaw could experience round 2 of significant winter devastation. Late Friday into Saturday, models show light snow reaching impossibly far south into Tennessee and northern Alabama territories. Saturday morning unleashes snow development across the Ohio Valley before it rockets toward the East Coast like a winter missile. Richmond, Norfolk, Virginia Beach, Raleigh, Greensboro, Charlotte, Columbia, Charleston, Savannah, and Jacksonville enter rare winter weather alert zones. What I'm about to show you about snowfall probabilities will absolutely blow your mind. The probability maps for at least 1 inch of snowfall over the next 7 days show unprecedented coverage across the eastern United States. Chicago, Milwaukee, Detroit, Grand Rapids, Cleveland, Toledo, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Rochester, Syracuse, Albany, and Burlington show near certainty for significant accumulation. Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Annapolis, Richmond, Norfolk, Raleigh, Charlotte, and Columbia show questionable but terrifying possibilities depending on storm track evolution. Southeast areas, including Atlanta, Birmingham, Huntsville, Chattanooga, Knoxville, and Asheville, currently face 15 to 30% chances over 7 days. Those percentages might sound low, but for these snow-starved regions, even small chances represent potentially historic winter weather events. Here's what will absolutely stagger you about the snow accumulation totals we're forecasting across multiple regions. Multiple winter systems will pummel the Midwest and Northeast with 3 to 4 separate devastating events, bringing widespread paralysis. The Appalachian Mountains, western Michigan, and northern Indiana face potentially catastrophic snowfall totals exceeding seasonal averages. Marquette, Traverse City, Cadillac, Ludington, Muskegon, South Bend, Elkhart, and Fort Wayne could see enhanced totals from brutal lake-effect snow machines. Across the entire impact zone, widespread 4 to 10 inches of snow becomes possible from Tennessee through the Northeast Corridor. Nashville, Clarksville, Louisville, Lexington, Cincinnati, Columbus, Wheeling, Pittsburgh, Harrisburg, and Scranton fall within these devastating accumulation ranges. Southern areas face enormous uncertainty, but snowfall could materialize Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday across multiple windows. Atlanta, Augusta, Macon, Albany, Tallahassee, Birmingham, Huntsville, Montgomery, Jackson, and Meridian remain in dangerous uncertainty zones. These projections come from National Weather Service ensemble models averaging multiple catastrophic scenarios. Individual model numbers could definitely trend higher in specific areas, creating localized winter weather disasters. This is where the pattern becomes absolutely fascinating and terrifying from an atmospheric education standpoint. We're witnessing textbook demonstrations of how massive jet stream patterns create repeated winter storm assembly lines across enormous geographic areas. The persistence of this atmospheric trough allows multiple disturbances to follow identical paths while explosively tapping available moisture sources. When Arctic air masses violently interact with Gulf moisture under these configurations, legendary southern snow events become meteorologically possible. What I find absolutely mind-blowing is how these patterns demonstrate nature's incredible power to create continental-scale winter warfare. The geographic scope showcases how atmospheric patterns can simultaneously affect 200+ million people across vast territories. From Minnesota to Alabama, from Colorado to Maine, these systems will demonstrate winter's absolute dominance across America. What terrifies you most about these developing winter warfare patterns that could paralyze your specific region? Are you panicking about transportation collapse, power outages? Or are you absolutely thrilled about potentially epic winter recreation opportunities? Drop your exact city and state in the comments right now and tell me what specific survival information you desperately need. I'm particularly fascinated by hearing from Southern viewers about their snow preparation strategies and panic levels. Northern viewers, share your excitement levels and what accumulation totals would make this winter absolutely legendary for you. Which specific interstate highways, airports, or travel routes are causing you the most anxiety during these potential disaster events? Emergency preparedness becomes absolutely critical when dealing with multiple winter warfare systems over extended periods. Stock up on essential survival supplies, including emergency food, water, medications, flashlights, batteries, and backup heating sources before conditions become life-threatening. Vehicle preparation should include full fuel tanks, emergency winter kits, warm blankets, and ensuring your transportation can handle potentially catastrophic driving conditions. Heating system inspections become absolutely crucial as temperatures plunge dramatically, especially for regions unaccustomed to sustained Arctic warfare. Pet owners must prepare for extended indoor periods and ensure adequate food and water supplies during potential power outages and emergency situations. School districts across the entire impact zone should immediately activate contingency plans for potential extended closures due to dangerous snow and brutal cold. Transportation departments will be working desperately around the clock, but massive travel delays and highway closures should be absolutely expected. Airport operations across Chicago, Detroit, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, New York, and Boston face potentially catastrophic delays and mass cancellations. I'll be providing emergency updates every 12 hours as these killer systems develop and our forecast confidence increases for specific devastation zones. Smash that subscribe button and notification bell right now so you don't miss life-saving updates as these winter warfare events explode. Your engagement helps me prioritize which regions and winter weather aspects require the most urgent detailed analysis and survival guidance. Share this video immediately with friends and family in potentially affected areas so they can begin critical preparation before it's too late. The comment section becomes crucial for sharing local observations and asking specific questions about your area's developing winter disaster potential. I respond to as many location-specific questions as possible, especially when dealing with unprecedented uncertainty in southern snow forecasts. Our next emergency update will provide critical model analysis and precise timing information as we approach these potentially devastating events. Weather pattern evolution over the next 24 hours will be absolutely crucial for determining which catastrophic scenarios actually materialize. The frequency of emergency updates reflects how rapidly these patterns are accelerating toward maximum destructive winter warfare potential. Each successive model run provides additional terrifying confirmation that we're approaching one of the most significant winter periods in modern history. The next 72 hours will determine which specific catastrophic scenarios unleash versus remaining theoretical winter nightmares. Storm track variations of just 50 to 100 miles determine whether major metropolitan areas face total paralysis or miraculous narrow escapes. However, thank you for watching today's comprehensive winter warfare breakdown covering multiple devastating systems and vulnerable regions. Stay safe, stay prepared for battle, and remember that winter weather creates both incredible beauty and life-threatening challenges. This represents winter weather at its most spectacular and dangerous, affecting more Americans than any weather event this season. What unfolds over the next 2 weeks will determine whether this becomes the winter that created legendary memories or the winter that broke infrastructure. Winter warfare begins within 48 hours and continues relentlessly through multiple devastating waves targeting the same vulnerable regions. Stay alive, stay prepared for winter warfare, and together we'll survive this historic atmospheric assault that's about to reshape America's winter landscape. See you in the next emergency forecast update as this incredible and terrifying winter weather story continues evolving.